Girls growing up long for romance. A good romance ends in marriage, but it actually is not the end, but the beginning of the rest of your life. How can you be a good wife to your husband? The Bible does not leave you in the dark. This video will answer the question, how can I be a good wife from the Bible? Do not forget to subscribe to our channel for more videos with short, easy-to-understand answers from the Bible to questions about sexuality and relationships. God created Adam and put him in the Garden of Eden. When he was assigned the task to name all the beasts of the field and every bird of the heavens, he discovered that there was no helper fit for him. And so God formed a woman out of one of his ribs and brought her to Adam, who exclaimed, "This at last is bone of my bones, flesh of my flesh." Together the man and woman had dominion over creation. Both were created in the image of God. The woman helped and complemented the man, and together they formed a unity, sealed by becoming one flesh, which also refers to sexual intercourse. The fall disrupted this good relationship, and the man would rule over the woman. This was not a command, but rather a consequence of sin. Lack of respect for each other crept into the relationship and is found in many marriages all over the world. But in the New Testament, wives are exhorted to respect their husbands and honor her husband as the leader of the family. This means that the wife gives her husband room to give spiritual and practical leadership to the family. She treats him respectfully and supports him where needed. In this way, husband and wife reflect the relationship between Christ and the church. Christ gave himself up for the church. Likewise, the husband should love his wife as his own body, and the wife should submit to her husband as the church to Christ. For both partners in a marriage, there is no room for self-centeredness. God is pleased by wives who practice respectful and pure conduct. It may win over husbands who are non-believers. The Bible says God delights in the imperishable beauty of a gentle and quiet spirit. It is very precious in his eyes. When you do have that kind of a spirit, you put your hope in God, you do good, and you have no fear for anything that is frightening because of your trust in God. Being a helper to your husband and having a gentle and quiet spirit does not mean you cannot take initiative on your own or exercise any leadership. In Proverbs 31, a portrait is painted of a wife who bought a field, has lively trading going on, skillfully leads her household, and teaches with wisdom. She is praised as far more precious than jewels, both by her husband and her children. This is because she does not try to take the role of her husband, but because she does him good and no harm all the days of her life. Her husband's heart trusts in her, and he will have no lack of gain. So the husband fully trusts his wife and praises her. This clearly shows he feels respected and loved. The husband has a position of honor within his society. The same chapter in Proverbs says, "He is known in the gates when he sits among the elders of the land," a position strengthened by his wife's excellency. So that is in a nutshell what the Bible tells you about being a wife. A woman who faithfully helps and supports her husband, respects him, loves him, and has a sexual relationship with him and with no one else. You are equal to your husband in the sight of God, but you have a unique position in your marriage that will bless your husband.